Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has spread our lives with the sunnah. We pray accept our ibadat. Ameen. This is another edition of the free Nahw and Sarfu class, and this is Nahw Class 117. The topic تصريف الفعل المضاعف مع جميع الضمائر. That is changing of fi'l of mud'af, the mud'af fi'l with the addition of the pronouns that take reference to it. So in the previous class, we looked at the changing the تصريف of fi'l ajwaf with the pronouns, and we've seen how they are formed with respect to the type of the pronoun, this sakina, this mutaharrika. So the same thing is going to play out here too. So we are going to be forming also the fi'l madi, the fi'l mudari, and the fi'l amr. So we have shaqqa as the verb we'll be using to form the table. So for the third person pronoun for madi, we have shaqqa. We have shaqqa as the pronoun we have here. Then for the dual, we know we are adding alif al-ithnain to the verb. So an alif al-ithnain is part of the sakina, and a condition is that the last letter of the verb has to be mutaharrika, has to take vowel before we can add those sakina to them. So adding alif al-ithnain to this one, the last letter obviously from here is fatha. Even if you separate the shadda, the last letter will still be fatha. So that means we are just adding the alif. You'll be having the shaqqa. So we have shaqqa. The same thing will be happening for the plural. The same thing will be happening, but we'll be adding waw jama instead. And you know that anytime we are adding these pronouns, anytime we want to add these pronouns, we must make sure that the last haraka, that is the haraka on the last letter of the verb, corresponds with the sakina that we are adding. So for wow, that means this haraka here we have to change to dhamma. So we have shakku. Then for the female we have shaqqat. Then we add alif al-ithnain here. That means the ta will have to take fatha. Note this ta, this ta, and it is not a pronoun. It is just showing the gender. It is not a pronoun. So we have what? We have shaqqata. Then for the last one in the third person, that is the plural for female. You know we use nun niswa. We use nun niswa. If you remember from the last class, the meaning of shaqqa means it is what is split. So you can just add the number for the remaining verbs. This is for dual, for male. They both split. Plural, they split, then female, like that. So we have nun niswa. You know that nun niswa is mutaharrika. It's different from alif ithnain and waw jama. The condition is now different. We have to make sure that the last letter of the verb is taken sukun. So you know we have shaqqa. We have shaqqa. This letter is taken shadda, so we can't assign sukun this way. We have to open it. We have to do faku of the drum. So we have shaqqa. That is what we have. Shaqqa. So we've opened the verb. Adding nun niswa means this will have to take sukun. So it will give us what? Shaqaq. Now. To give us shaqaq now. After separating the last letter has to take sukun. Then adding nun niswa, we have shaqaq now. So this procedure is what will happen to all other mutaharrika pronouns too, like tahul mutaharrika and na adallatu ala al-fa'il. So we have shaqaqna. That means for the second person, we are going to be having shaqaq with the addition of the pronoun we want to add. The tahul mutaharrika with the corresponding haraka. That is the haraka the tahul mutaharrika is supposed to take. So we have what? Shaqaqtu. Shaqaqta for the first one. For second person, shaqaqta. Then the middle is going to have tuma. So we have what? Shaqaqtuma. Shaqaqtuma, and we are lastly for the plural we have shaqaqtum. So second person represents the person you are facing. Second person denotes someone you are talking to. So it means you split for dual and plural and for singular. Then this is for male. For female, we have shaqaqti. Shaqaqti. Shaqaqtuma occurs again. Then shaqaqtunna. So that is for the second person. Then for the first person, we have what? Shaqaqtu. Then finally, na adallatu ala al-fa'il shaqaqna. Like I did last class, we are going to be using just the mukhatab because the ghaib has variations that are similar to that of the mukhatab. So we won't be writing that. So the mukhatab alone is sufficient for the ghaib. The difference is the change in the harful mudara. So we have the person you are facing has to be what? Tashukku. Because shakka in Mudorian we have yashukku. So when we are talking about the second person, it has to be what? It has to be ta. So we are going to be having tashukku. You know when we add now for the dual, we'll be adding the aliful isnain. And you know that when we add our aliful isnain, it is part of the sakina, the domain rofa sakina. It is part of them. So the last letter will be intact. We still take its araka. That means we won't be expecting any change here, just like we have in Madi. So tashokku will become what? Tashokkoni. It is Mudorium. The noun has to be here. It is Mudorium. It's different from Madi. You can see in the Madi we do not have any noun except noun in this one. That is the pronoun. But here it is Mudorium. We have to observe the noun. So tashokku becomes Tashokkoni. Then for plural, we add wawul jama, same process, tashukuna. Tashukuna. So the difference is that the haraka on the last letter has to correspond to the pronoun you are adding, if it is those circular pronouns. So for the female, now we have addition of Jawul Mukhataba, same thing, the same way we applied Alif Lisna and Wawu Jama. The difference is this Haroka here. For Alif mistake, the letter mistake fatha. For Wawu, the letter mistake Dhamma. For Ya, it means the letter will also take what? Kasra. So we are having Tashuqina. Tashuqina. Then Tashuqani occurs again. The dual for male and female in all of those positions are similar. So Tashuqani occurs again. Then now we are going to be adding Nunu Niswa. And Nunu Niswa is different from this one because it is mutaharrika. So it is going to open the sukun, just like it did for Modi. And open the shadda. It opened the shadda into Qaf Fatha and Qaf Sukun. So that is what it's going. So we have Tashuku. We have Tashuku plus Nunu Niswa. And we know Nunu Niswa is mutaharrika. Nunu Niswa is mutaharrika, meaning the last letter has to take sukun. And we cannot give this shadda sukun straight. We have to what? We have to open it. So we have what? We have Tashkukna. We have Tashkukna with the addition of Nunu Niswa. So we have Tashkukna. So how do we come about Tashkukna? We know that for Shako, it's supposed to be what? Shakoko. For Shako, when we are separating, it's supposed to be Shakoko. So when we put it in Midori, it's supposed to be what? Because it is Fa'ala Yaf'alu. Yashkuku. So when you say Tashkuku, this is supposed to be Doma. Tashkuku. This is how it's supposed to be because we've opened this. If you don't go back to Modi, to get this will give you problem. To get how this is formed. So you have to go back to Modi, separate the Modi, then come to Mudori. Tashkuku. Normal. The normal way you have verb, like Nosoro, Yansuru. So you just say, okay, let us open the verb, let's open the Shadda. You have Shakoko. In Mudori, for Yafonlu, we have what? Tashkuku. So Tashkuku is what we have. We want to add Nunu Niswa. Nunu Niswa has to give this one Duma. That is how we come about Tashkuk, then Nunu Niswa, Tashkukna. So that is that for the Mukhotob. We know that for the Mutakallim, for the first person, it is just Ashkuku and Nashkuku. So there is nothing special in those ones. So we are only checking the Mukhotob because that is where we have the addition of the pronouns that concern us. So now we have Fi'lul Amr. Fi'lul Amr. Now for Fi'lul Amri, you know we are deriving directly from Fi'lul Mudari. So here the process is to remove what? Harful Mudara and give the last letter sukun. So we have from Tashukka, we remove this and we open this and give sukun. So we'll be left with Shukka at the end of the day. Shukka, why Shukka? Because we've given the last letter sukun. So the it's gone when we try to put them back together, fatha will now come in when we try to put the two letters together. So also we can come from shakoko to separate it. If we come from shakoko, we have yeshkoko. If we remove the harful mudara, we'll be left with shin, sukun, of sukun. Abi, so this is what we will be having. So add Hamzatul Wasl to be able to pronounce it. So here, in place of shukko, you can have ushkuk just for this one, just for the singular. We can have shukko and we can say ushkuk. It is allowed. That is for the singular. Then for dual, the same process applies. Remove the harful mudara and remove the noon. Remove harful mudara and remove the noon. So we'll be left with what? Shukka. Same thing applies here. Remove harful mudara, remove the noon. Shukku. Same thing applies here. Remove harful mudara, remove the noon. We have shukki. The same thing applies here. We have the same thing. It occurs again. Then here, remove the harful mudara and don't remove the noun because this is the pronoun. It's the essence of the verb itself. So we can't remove it. So we are removing just this. After removing this, we'll be left with shin, sukun, hukna. We need support because the shin is taking sukun. So we add hamza to lastly and give it doma. Why? Because the cough is taking doma. So we have ushukna. Ushukna. So two major changes. The change with Domoy Ruffin attacking those ones that take sukun like that are sukun like aliful isnain, waw jama, and yaw makotaba. When they are added to this verb to mud'af, we will not observe a significant change except the vowels the last letter is taken. It's going to change so as to correspond to the pronoun we are adding. That is why shakko will remain shakko because fatha corresponds to alif. Shakku because we have wow and then the doma that corresponds to it. And we have tashukki and shukki because it is there here. So that is for the sakina. But for the mutaharrika, we will have to open the shadda. For the mutaharrika, we have to open the shadda. Why? Because the last letter has to take sukun. The last letter of the verb has to take sukun. Taking on niswa, for example, last letter of the letter has to take sukun. So we have to open the shadda and give the last letter sukun so that we'll be able to get our formation. So we have shakokna. Same thing applies for the other ones. Shakoktu, shakokna. Same thing applies also in Mudorio and Amr. So that is the two major changes. So the changes are dependent on what? On those two types of pronouns that we have, the sakina and the mutaharrika. So when you note these changes, you'll be able to apply to add the pronouns and get the right forms. And you can help us share this video and like. May Allah reward us abundantly and make this knowledge a beneficial one. We say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.